Hi everybody, my name is Andrew McClendon and this is my community health project. For my community health project, I decided to do Chelsea, Massachusetts. During this assignment, I undertook the role of a community health nurse and went through the process of completing a full community assessment. During this process, I utilized a windshield survey, informant interviews, and gathering data from existing sources. Through completing my windshield survey, I discovered that Chelsea is a city that is very rich in Latino culture. It also has its struggles, however, with an above average crime rate and a below average high school graduation rate. Chelsea, Massachusetts is an extremely diverse city located just north of Boston on the other side of the Mystic River. I actually am a transplant of Chelsea, having moved here just 2 years ago. Through my time here, I feel that I have gotten a pretty good feel for the community, having attended many church functions, town functions, as well as visited multiple local restaurants and bars. My job for this assignment, however, was to dig a little bit deeper and to look into the community as a whole. What drives the community, issues that may be facing them, and just the community makeup in general. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, Chelsea boasts a population of almost 40,000. Given that the total size of the city of Chelsea is only 2.71 square miles, it is the second most densely populated city per square mile behind only Somerville in Massachusetts. 40,000 people is a lot of people to fit into such a small area, which is evidenced by all the houses that are back to back, right on top of each other. Very, very densely populated neighborhoods. Lack of parking, things like that. In recent years, Chelsea has become known as a renters community, having 72% of its residents being renters as opposed to just around 22% being homeowners. 20% of this population also currently lives below the poverty line. Chelsea as a community is dominantly Latino and Hispanic. 60% of the community speaks Spanish as its first language, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Also, 32% of the population of Chelsea are not even U.S. citizens. This stood out to me given the far below average scores on standardized testing throughout the public school system, as well as the high school graduation rate, which was far below the normal Mass state average. I started to wonder if this English speaking, below average English speaking, with a lot of people having Spanish as their first language, may be a barrier to one of the biggest issues facing this community. Chelsea Public Schools rank in the bottom 50% in every statistical category throughout education in Massachusetts. Graduation rate is only 63%, well under the Mass average of 87%. So that's only 6 out of 10 people graduating high school. In this part of the country, that is far below the average. With 60% of the population speaking Spanish as its first language, it occurred to me that there may be a real correlation here. So then I started looking at the standardized test scores, and I realized that English language arts proficiencies on standardized tests were only 60%. And surprisingly, math proficiencies were only 40%. 91.8% of residents have healthcare coverage, however, which actually is pretty good. That's 9 out of 10 people. However, Massachusetts in general does have great coverage rates, and Chelsea is actually 5% lower than the Massachusetts average. 60% of those who have coverage, however, are on government subsidized plans such as Medicaid, Medicare. Out of all those that are covered, not a lot of them are through their employer or private pay. So obviously this is a big expense for the government and our healthcare system in general, actually. Chelsea is right around the state average ratio, with their PCPs averaging around 954 patients each and that's actually pretty much right on the money. They're also right around the state average with in dental statistics, with their dentists averaging around 1,010 patients each. Although small in size, Chelsea does have 25 health and mental health facilities and 7 dental practices within its border. So I mean, that's, I'm talking about small doctor's offices, family practices. Even they have larger, so they have an MGH in Chelsea. So a wide variety of them. And I mean, that's, we're talking about 32 practices in total between medical and dental, and only that 2.7 square miles. So that's pretty well saturated in this area. There are also 73 different public health services listed, including drug rehab and detox, assistance for young mothers, elderly services, shelters, and food pantries. I felt that the biggest priority problem facing the city of Chelsea was the lack of education and the low high school graduation rate. I felt that another problem was lack of career opportunity in this community. Although located in close proximity to Boston, most residents unfortunately lack the education level to get a job in the highly competitive job landscape in the city. So I mean, this has been a problem for a long, long time in this community, and because of that, the median household incomes and average household incomes and average household earnings are below that of surrounding areas. Due to their far below average graduation rate and low standardized test scores, the city of Chelsea rolled out a 5-year education plan in 2016. This plan included better access to technology, more services for Spanish-speaking students, an early college dual enrollment program with Bunker Hill Community College, where students can actually take college courses and gain college credits while still enrolled in high school. Being the role of a public health nurse, I found this program to be a truly insightful and in tune with a major problem facing the community. Interventions I would use, to piggyback on what they're already doing, which I think they're doing a great job of, would be to educate and encourage current students about dual enrollment programs with Bunker Hill Community College, in hopes that more of them will utilize this program. I mean, it'll save them on tuition, cost of books, and it'll just give them a shot at a better life. I'd also work with the school system to identify barriers with attendance and graduation and outreach these families to evaluate them for services that may help their child graduate high school. And that's pretty much it, guys. So, I'm going to post this, and you're already watching it because I did post it. So any questions and feedback, I would love to hear them from you guys. Sorry I had to kind of videotape the screen of my computer. I couldn't figure out how to do the voiceover through PowerPoint, but I hope it wasn't too big of a deal. And thank you guys very much. Good luck, everybody.